Hi there, everybody. Welcome again to the Battle for a Healthy Voice. I'm Dave Moyer, vocal coach. And our podcaster and producer is none other than Sonny Galt.
Hi, guys. Thank you, David. All right, guys, we have another great vocal coach reaction video for you today. We're talking about Steven Tyler and Aerosmith. How well do you know the band, David?
Well, I've heard them, and when I was younger, as a man who accepted Christ when I was in 1971, I began to listen to a lot more gospel. So I've only heard them. I do know the song that you're going to play at some point, Dream On. Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
And well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Yep. And about how it works.
I loved Aerosmith growing up. I had all of, the time of cassette tapes, right? I had all their cassette tapes. Every time they came out with a new album, I'd purchase it. And I felt like I kind of grew up with this band. I was born in the 70s, so maybe not the very beginning, but this band has had a long life and is still touring and doing things like that.
The two songs we're going to watch, what you've told me about and listen to, that's 41-year span.
Yeah, it's a lot. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and kind of dive into this. The first song we're going to listen to for Aerosmith is Dream On. It's a very popular song of theirs. This video we're going to watch is a live performance. Came out in 1973, which I think is about the time the song came out. So this was very early on. And let's just take a listen.
Yeah, let's take a listen.
Okay.
Every time that I look in the mirror, all these lines on my face getting clearer. The past is gone, it went back like dust to dawn. Isn't that the way?
So that's not the big part in the song. The big part is when he does that,
Dream On, Dream On.
But what do you think of that?
Well, it's obvious. Number one, in a positive light, great performer. Knows how to, promote himself visually. That's good. When it comes to singing, it reminds me of what someone said in regards to the COVID, who was very famous. They said, "You don't know what you're talking about." And what I want to say is, if you think that's good singing and you like it, that's because you've become accustomed to it. Because the A&R people, the people that promote that kind of sound, have pushed that on us, so we've become, if you will, kind of deafened to what that sound really is. That is a terrible, forced production. And as far as rock goes, does it work? Yeah, because hard rock is screaming. It actually developed, as some of you know, a genre called screamo. There's screamo. There's actually screamo. You may have heard of that.
Which is like the heavy metal, like
where they
up
go,
there.
It's just terrible. People that do that have about a 2 to 3 year span, and then they're done. So that production won't work. And it would be interesting to hear how he sounds today. It's just terrible. And I'm a trained musician, so I have my degree in music, and I was second in my class, so my ear is really good. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I'm dead. There's snow on the roof, but there's fire in the furnace. So anyway, the bottom line is he's singing extremely out of tune. The voice has no idea where the center of the voice is. There's no purity to it. It's just flat screaming. That's all. Screaming with words. That's it.
I wonder how many of us are really listening more to the music and the melody than the artist, right?
I think most of us are.
Right.
I think they don't listen to the sound anymore. They just listen to what it's about.
I mean, how many times this happens to me and my husband all the time. I'll be like, oh, did you hear what they just said in that song? He's like, oh, I wasn't even listening to the words.
Exactly. My wife, Kathy, I always do words. But my wife, Kathy's always been a listener to sounds.
Yeah.
And so I give her to her a song. I say, honey, listen to the words of this. She goes, those are the words? I've never listened to the words. I just love the music. I like the sound.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be one of the people that sings with that song, you really better learn how to sing healthy, or, well, when you hear the next version 41 years later,
Right.
whatever the song is, you're going to know what happened.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and take a listen to that. So this is a live performance. Let's see. The year was 2014. This is not when the song came out, but the song is Dude Looks Like a Lady. You said you hadn't heard the song.
No.
Maybe you have. This is a super popular song. Maybe you have and you just weren't familiar with
Maybe,
it. But
'cause-
he does a lot of the screaming. Steven Tyler does a lot of screaming in this. And so I thought it was a good example, but this is a
I
live
wonder if
version.
he even is able to hit the pitches when he's screaming. I'll
yeah,
listen
let's
with that.
see.
Here. We'll
Let's
see.
Check it out.
Okay.
Cruising through my office door. Her picture breaks the ground on the door. She alone knows the Lord was right. Never made me wrong, but you know it's all right. That's it. Backstage of having a time. All my lives until somebody said, well, excuse me if I see now tonight that you whipped out a gun, tried to blow it. You look like a lady. Come on, come. You look like a lady. You look like a lady. You look like a lady.
Okay, I stand corrected. He's a very good musician, even though he's just screaming to the wall.
Now, what do you
His
define as
but what
musician
I mean by
then? Yeah.
musician, his pitch is accurate, even though his voice is blown. He's still
Okay.
accurate in his pitch. So he's quite a musician. He auditorily matches the pitches. Now, it's pretty hard to figure out what the pitches are because there's so much scratch and just raw. Well, scratch. There's so much scratch
Right,
in
right.
his voice that at times it seems like the pitch is not really a pitch. It's more of just a sound. But there is pitch to it, but it's barely there. So what's happened is you can see him getting around that mic, and it looks like almost like he's bearing down, like he's constipated, because he has to push so hard to
get
make
that
this
sound
work,
out.
to get it to work. Well, the voice is completely torn asunder. It's obvious, and there is no. In terms of what we teach in bel canto, pure bel canto, there is no singing there. That's not singing. That's screaming pitches. And that is as close, without being into the genre of screamo, that I could possibly imagine. It's just terrible singing. He pronounces his words well. I can
I
understand.
was actually
Yeah.
going to say the exact opposite because I know the words to the song and I couldn't even tell what he was saying.
Well, but I could tell, and honestly, I can tell. So I would say he doesn't pronounce the words well enough, and you know the words to the song.
Yeah.
But here am I. Maybe I've heard the song before, but you know what? The only phrase, I stand corrected, the only phrase I could understand was dude looks like a lady.
No, but I'm
That's
talking
it.
about the
other
verse.
stuff was
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's exactly what it is.
And then taking the microphone away. Like, did
Yeah,
you notice he would
yeah.
do that? And he would, but he did it like in a way where he was looking at the camera, kind of winking at the camera. But I'm like, when artists do that, I'm always like, could they just not hit that note? They're just pulling the mic away so they can't hit the
we
note.
put Donny Osmond on a video and just released it yesterday. I think it was. And Donny does that all the time now.
Yeah.
He'll go, like when he did his Puppy Love, and they call it. But and then when he goes up, he goes, yeah. And then he pulls the mic
And
away.
so everyone else can
And then
sing
he's
or
got
whatever.
an old video of him when he originally sang it that comes in and everybody's
Remember me
singing
back
along.
then.
Yeah.
Don't listen to
Yeah,
me now.
right.
Listen to me then.
It's so tragic.
How do you think that Steven Tyler has been able to keep this up? We talked about he's actually a coach. I think maybe he's not on. I don't watch American Idol anymore. I used to.
I don't.
But he was a coach for a while on American Idol. So he's trying to keep relevant or whatever. How is he still able to pull this
Well,
off?
to respond to that, I would say money, 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 money.
Yeah.
If you've got the money, you can. Let's face it, our government's like that now.
Yeah.
Let's not get into politics, but let's just say that if you have the money, you can do just about anything. If somebody's willing to pay, you pay them enough, you get to be a coach.
Right.
Because,
Oh, yeah,
but,
for
and the
that.
truth is
Yeah.
I want to critique those coaches because there's only one of them that actually sing, no, two of them, but one who sings really, really well for his rock sound, and that's the lead singer from Maroon 5 who coaches,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
also
So
the
that's the
lady
voice.
Carrie, not Carrie, but the other
Kelly
Clarkson.
Clarkson.
She's pretty good. Those are the only two. Blake's okay with country. He forces crazy. Simon Cowell doesn't know
doesn't
what
really
he's talking
sing, does he?
about.
Yeah, he
Simon
does-
doesn't
oh.
even know what he's talking about. I'd love to chat.
Well, I don't think he's on any of those shows anymore.
Anyway, he isn't? Okay.
I don't think he's like the producer or something like that. But anyway, yeah.
But we need to have a critique of them because
Yeah.
that what's happening is they're elevating the wrong type of production, but good visual. There's good visual, except for one thing. With that jaw so distended, every time somebody goes for a high note, it looks like they're constipated and they're trying to clear their bowels. And that's just the truth. I mean, I've had not just me saying that, but I've had people that are teaching and says, "Boy, they look like they're," and they say
Yeah.
something different than the kind way I said it, but they say, "Oh, it looks like they're really
yeah.
hurting."
Right.
Yeah. So that's not singing.
Yeah.
And there is rock that's singing, like Freddie Mercury. Watch one of the Freddie Mercury videos. Freddie did it well. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just part of his performance. I mean,
Yeah.
he was doing this in the Dream On,
Yep.
videos and stuff.
Yeah.
He has this famous thing where he kicks his microphone stand down and brings it up with his foot.
Sure. So
It's a whole
so
performance
for him,
thing,
It's
yeah.
a visual performance.
Yeah, it
and
is.
he does use audio, but the audio is completely
Yeah.
secondary to
Right.
it.
Gotcha.
Way down
Yeah.
low.
All right. Well, if you guys want to learn more about what we call pure bel canto, visit our website. It's purebelcanto.com.
And please take a look at AmericanMusicAcademy.com. Scroll to where my wife and I, Kathy Mangione, Chuck Mangioni's first cousin, sing a Christmas song. That's how I used to sound. You may not like that sound, but that's kind of the sound you're going to get if you sing pure bel canto. Will you sound like Dave Moyer? No. You'll sound like Sonny Galt. Sonny's studying with me now, and she sounds like Sonny Galt. It doesn't sound like,
Everybody's
you've
different.
studied with Dave Moyer. No.
Yeah.
Because we teach people to sing freely the way God intended for a voice to be.
Yeah. So you could learn pure bel canto. David and I did a course on this to give you kind of the history and the background of it. David is doing group lessons, online one-on-one classes with you guys. So
Free class, 30 minutes.
Yeah. You have
Watch
nothing
the
to
Battle
lose.
for a Healthy Voice. Sonny is, I think, posted on all those
Yeah,
videos.
I do.
Free lesson.
Yep.
Please, I've got people that have responded to me from Illinois, New Mexico, and somewhere over in Europe. I can't remember the name of it.
But that's the beauty is you can do this wherever you're located,
Sure.
right?
As long,
Just
as,
hop
as, long
on
as the
Zoom.
day works
Yep.
for the Zoom or the FaceTime
Yeah.
or the Google Duo or
Yeah.
what's the other one? Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, check out our videos, guys. Subscribe to us if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.